What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Average Bob, and I can't believe it. We're getting into year 3 on this channel. Giants football is back. They had a preseason game the other night where they beat the Lions 14-3. Pretty excited to dive into right now in this video today. We're just going to cover off on the highlights for how the game shook out, what I liked, disliked, what I'm interested in seeing moving forward. And this video is about 6.5 minutes long that the NFL posted to their YouTube channel. So honestly, let's just get started and dive into it, because this is going to be a little bit of a preseason for myself, as there have been some lag between the videos on this channel. But with that, let's dive into it. And let's just pick up where we left off last year. Also, first and foremost, as I'm turning off the closed captioning, I love preseason games on TV for the Giants because you get Bob Papa and Carl Banks, and now this year they added Phil Simms into the booth, who Phil Simms kind of got totally screwed whenever Romo came up, and they just like one day he just wasn't calling those games anymore, and then they replaced him. So it was good to hear Phil Simms like shake off the cobwebs himself, getting into like calling a live game with 3 guys in the booth. They said Deontay Johnson's name a lot. He was looking good in this game. You know, I think what they mentioned a lot too is there's guys that, you know, the front's up front guys, Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon are set, but I think some of these linebacker positions outside of Bobby Okereke and some of the edge guys are going to be like, there are going to be a lot of guys rotated. Like you see a lot BJ Ojulari, or Azeez Ojulari, his brother is BJ. But this guy Deontay Johnson looks good. The Lions offense didn't look very good at all. And then, okay, one thing, we got our first glimpse of Drew Lock playing in a Giant jersey this year. A little erratic, a little all over the place. Phil Simms, which is awesome to have Phil Simms in the commentary for a game like this. Drew Lock is leaking to his right a lot. He's getting caught from the backside. But what I didn't really like about Drew Lock, but I guess this is his game, I just haven't really watched him play that much over the last few years because he's been on some pretty bad teams. He just like throws the ball as hard as he can. And honestly, for a guy like Azudu, like Mike linebacker's coming, or just kind of trying to find a gap to crush, but he's looking up here on the top left of the screen, and that's covered. And then, you know, hey, sometimes that's just what happens on 3rd and 3. I did think it was interesting too, because people are like, oh, like Neighbors, Malik Neighbors, we got his first glimpse. I think he ran 12 routes and no targets, no catches, obviously. And people are saying like, oh yeah, welcome to New York Giants football. Like, guys, it's one preseason game, but also, I mean, that could obviously, we could be 2 or 3 weeks into the season and saying that too. But people are like, oh, he's wide open and he didn't hit him. It's like, the whole point of NFL secondaries are to disguise coverage, and it might look to someone watching it, oh, it looks like he's open, but there's a safety over the top that, I don't know, like, unless Drew Lock or Tommy DeVito is throwing the ball 100 miles an hour, I don't think he's going to get it in that little window. So he wasn't necessarily open. And also kudos to this Giants offensive line, new coach, O-line coach. I thought they did pretty well. Obviously, a lot of the other starters weren't playing, and there will be a lot. I'll do a whole video on the offensive line coming up, so I don't need to talk about it too much. But John Michael Schmitz and Evan Neal on the pop. It's a great pocket. This is a great pocket. And then Carl Banks had a funny line there. It was like an army of defense, or whatever he said was funny. But yeah, it looks like he just forced it, got caught up. It was never open at any point. So, hey, welcome to the Giants, Drew Lock. But, you know, you see Dable trying to coach him up. You know, it's totally fine. Dable, I think, is going to be a little bit more reserved this year compared to previous years, where he just starts screaming like a nut job at the quarterbacks and doesn't really work at this level. Nice play, Allen Robinson. Hey, see what he could do in the twilight of his career. Yeah, Bob Pop is absolutely right. Will he have a chance to make this roster? I think possibly, but he costs money. Is it worth paying him or someone else either? So this guy Tyrone Tracy, they said, and they drafted him, I think, like the 6th round. He played football at Iowa as a wide receiver for 4 years, and then his last 2 years, forget where it was, like Illinois or somewhere random. He ended up playing running back there for 2 years. So he doesn't have that traditional running back pedigree of, a guy like, if you want to look at something crazy, look at Derrick Henry's high school stats. He's rushing like 45 times a game in high school. So like when you think about it like that, clearly he has good vision. This is just blocked up very nicely. Actually, I didn't want to get in a little bit of a groove here. So let's see. The left tackle here just kind of sets him up, posts inside, blocks him out. And then this running back here, he's seen everyone flow right, so he's like, oh shit, maybe I flow right, but that creates a perfect cutback lane, and there it is. So Tracy looks like he has great vision for a guy who's only played the position for 2 years. I did text one of my buddies early on in this game and said, I like to see what Tracy has to offer because I don't think Eric Ray could do much, and then immediately ate my shoe. But to my defense, on my Eric Ray stuff, he did not do really much last year as they had Saquon, and then when Saquon was out, they played Matt Breida. So it was having a rookie guy that they probably didn't feel comfortable with playing. But hey, year 2, off to a very strong start for sophomore Eric Ray. This is great too. Obviously, terrible miss here by the left tackle for the Lions. He's just got to either like call a signal out, block out. Everyone's got to block out because this guy's right. Let's just look and I'll show you why. He's lined up right behind him. Maybe it's just very disguised really well. That was the tight end. Excuse me. So, sometimes easy to blow up, but yeah, Drew Phillips, very impressive too. Kentucky, not necessarily known for their stout cornerbacks, but see what you get. All right, here we go. I was so Drew Lock's hurt at this point. DeVito takes a snap, and I thought Tommy DeVito looked good. I think rightfully he should look good against guys that potentially might not be playing in a couple weeks. And he played 6 games against NFL talent, won 3 of those games. Probably could have won a 4th too. See what we got. Schlotman, left guard here, should be knowing he's getting pushed off. Like, that's just obviously not a good position when you feel defensive lineman pushing you the other way. And that's tough, but that's totally fixable. They only rush 4. And that's what happens. Carl Banks says, here we go, 3rd and 7. DeVito takes a snap. Great ball. This is a great ball. The linebacker not even looking any way, shape, or form. Puts it right on the money, hits him in stride. And there you go. Eric Ray's already making an impact as a pass catcher, something he really didn't have an opportunity to do last year. But hey, if that could get him in there, because hear me out on Devin Singletary. I don't think Devin Singletary is a bell cow back in any way, shape, or form. And if these other guys are better, like, rotate. Let's see if a monster rotation, because the last couple of years when the Giants have played football, there's been one guy that other teams have worried about, number 26. Number 26 isn't here anymore. So let's just rotate guys, and who's ever the best at picking up a blitz from a running back perspective, let's allow that. Who's the best at getting space on screens? Let's put him in there for those plays. Who's good at shotgun inside zones or off tackles or single back? Like, let's figure that out and then use those. The Tyree Jackson missed or is it Tyrone? But he had a big block, or he missed a big block, makes that play. And then here you go right here. This is just Eric Ray. Under handoff, right? Like, this is a big play. 2nd and 10, man, on the almost 50-yard line. It's not blocked up the best, but what is there is a little bit of space, and that's all Eric Ray needs. Puts his foot right in the ground here. Whoop, whoop. And then he's off to the races. This is a big play. This is what The Giants, outside of number 26, have lacked significantly for the last couple of years. And it's awesome. Good for Eric Gray, because I think this position is more up for grabs than anyone thinks. And if he can make plays, then all kudos to him. Let's see him play. Who cares? And then in this game, Eric Gray finished four carries, 52 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't even want to talk about this kickoff stuff. It looks weird. I don't like it at all. And then Eric Gray also had 4 receptions for 46 yards. So this is ways to get on the field, man. Great patience by DeVito. Great blocking downfield. Let's just talk about, look at Tommy DeVito here. Fake the play action. Right guard and right tackle absolutely blown up. Guy right in his face. Look at that. He's right there. He should be getting killed. Tommy DeVito last year would be getting killed right here. Takes 1 step back. Throws it over the other D-end right to Eric Gray, and guys are downfield. And yeah, Tommy DeVito will definitely, I don't know. I'd rather see Tommy DeVito than Drew Lock based on what we saw the other day. Tommy DeVito's getting better. Look at this. This is great. Would have been nice if he got in there, Jackson, but I like that thing that they were saying, how Jackson, Dable will just show up in meetings when they break out to skill positions or position groups, and Dable will just be like, Jackson, get out here. And then he'll just show him like Gronk highlights and be like, this is what you need to be for us. I love that. And then Eric Gray gets in over the left guard. Yeah, so Eric Gray with a almost 100-yard game, rushing and receiving. First and 10, big draw. No, man, people were getting a little cocky in this game for preseason 1. I get it, the Giants cornerbacks should this kind of a smart play by Sudfeld, instead of throwing it for a pick, just taking the sack. Carlos Boogie Basham traded from the Bills, great swim move. I mean, I think he's been in the league for maybe 3 or 4 years now. How old's Boogie Basham? He's 26. Okay, so 3 years in the league. And then Sudfeld throws it for an interception. And then tossed it up. Just obviously this can't happen during the regular season. But yeah, something to consider. It's good when stupid shit happens in the preseason, because you're like, all right, guys, this is something that's happened. We've seen it happen. We can't have it again. And the preseason's interesting. You know, they're always going for it on fourth down, but you just want to see what guys do in situations. So I think the Lions need to figure out a different backup quarterback. Hooker looked good, but I think he was just taking too many hits here. Yeah, I think he got hurt, and he went to the locker room at some point. So something to think about, but great play flying up there. I gotta say, the one guy who looked great was Javarius Owens. He freaking stepped up into one of the gaps and absolutely crushed someone. I couldn't tell what was going on with his helmet because he had a huge thing hanging off. I don't know if it was his I don't think it was his mouthpiece. I don't think I've seen anyone's mouthpiece on the side of their head, or they didn't have the pump removed. I don't know. It was weird. He had a monster white thing off the side of his helmet. Yeah, they can't move forward with Sudfeld as a backup, or maybe they'll take someone else. But seeing Trey Hawkins play cornerback, he looked good. Giants win 14-3. Yeah, guys, I'm pretty pumped for this season. I think it's going to be the marking of a new a new step forward for sure. Want to see Neighbors play. Interested to see how Daniel Jones reacts after his ACL surgery, and O-line looks a little bit better. And then, we have to be better across the board. So, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. If you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about how the Giants are looking so far in preseason. I'm going to be dropping a lot more content over the next few weeks before the season starts. So if there's anything you guys want to see or have questions about, please just let me know. Have a good one, y'all.